Can you hear us, people? We're on. Test, test.
Oh, yeah,
Test, test. I got you. All right, people, we're on. Check on my phone here real quick. Make sure it's working.
You guys told that experts on the setting up in 2 seconds.
Yeah. The importance of getting here on time, right?
Yeah. As long as you have a routine, don't it?
Yes.
Yes. All right, people, spread the word. We're on. My lovely wife. We have the original on here of it, and we're getting ready to go on and celebrating excellence. You can turn that off here. All right now, saying it my way. Yes, Lord.
Gospel is playing this morning, guys.
Lord.
Good morning, good morning.
Yes. Yeah, we're still sleepy, people. Well, I am.
Still sleeping.
She had me up late last night.
Guess what, guys? Today's a day off. Yeah.
No counseling today. Oh, that's my
Got
fault.
literally this time.
All right, people. We got some good church music going on all day, every day. She had me up late, people. She has to take me out. But not one there. My girl can dance. Oh, she's a dancing queen. Dancing queen.
I can't see.
No,
Laura's behind this thing.
here we go.
Can't really see.
In the spirit of the many contributions which have been made by African Americans, Radio 1400 features moments in Black history. This is a wonderful opportunity for the community to demonstrate its appreciation for these notable events and achievements by African Americans. This serves as an inspiration for the community to rise to the occasion and seize the moment of opportunity to grow and overcome the daily challenges of life. We're inviting you.
All right, guys, today we're celebrating excellence.
The recognition of a particular African American person or notable event, nationally or locally, in your community. Call 203-873-0446.
Thank you, sir, for coming down. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And share your special moment in Black history.
We have the man in the room now.
Yeah, peace and love.
I know those people.
Guess where we're going after this? Queen's Delight.
Counseling and mentorship for individual and family. Call us at
Meet us over there, guys.
472-8177.
Might be packed. That's on last night.
242-8179 for a unique husband and wife team.
The coach.
And counseling. The MBA Workforce Development offers opportunities.
Hey, people. At in Bridgeport, at IML, rated 1400.
Carol. That's Miss Carol.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Rated 1400 AM in Bridgeport. And we're getting ready to rock and roll. God bless you guys. Go to our website on birding.net. That's our website between both of us together. My wife's website and as well as mine.
Yes, every praise is to our God. Hello, you're listening to Gospel Live, and I am
Big mouth.
I'm Minister Boy, along with Randy Free and Pastor
She's my wife and my mother.
He's still sleeping.
Huh?
He's still sleeping.
Yeah.
She came up late last night, man.
You want to sit with us?
No, I don't want to sit for that thing. What that give me to drink?
Every Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. we play gospel music, praise and worship, prayer, inspiration, and illumination in the Word of God. Remember,
Listen in every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Radio
I'm gonna wake up soon. I'm gonna wake up.
a.m.
Give me 2 more minutes.
every praise is to our God.
The sound of peace and love. Information, inspiration, motivation, and empowerment for the community. The sound of peace and love.
Join the coach and the counselor every Saturday morning, 8 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Radio 1400.am.
The coach and the counselor. Join us again for courageous conversations, relationship talks, comedy, heart work, and meditation.
That's the coach and the counselor every Saturday morning, 8 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Radio 1400.am.
Welcome back to another segment of The Coach.
And the counselor.
We're going to get right into it, guys. Today we are celebrating excellence.
Yeah, celebrate good time. Come on, da 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 da. Yes, sir.
So we are celebrating excellence today, guys.
Yes.
And that excellence, guess what? Is a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
We're celebrating excellence.
Yes.
What are some ways? We're just going to get right into the topic.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the ways that I can celebrate you in this moment?
Just how you take care of me.
No, what I want to know, what can I celebrate in you?
In me.
Yeah, not the way I celebrate.
Oh,
What could I celebrate?
oh, okay. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. But you see how
Yeah, that's
that
a good question.
happens?
That's a good
So you
question.
were readily able to say,
Yeah.
guess what? Oh, I like what you do. But when we begin to turn those tables inward,
That's a good point.
it looks so different.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
a good point.
why is it that we have to pause
Yes, about us.
to celebrate us?
Right, it's really, yeah.
So let's just take a moment to think about that.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Why is that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Because,
think about that. We're so used to giving out.
right, we're not
Giving
used to
out.
receiving it.
Giving out.
We're not used to
Yes.
receiving it. We're not used to, because, we don't want to be prideful, we don't want to be boastful, but at the same time, it's good to recognize what God is doing in you, and recognize, wow, this is a gift God's given me. Like celebrating how I love counseling. I could do it all day, every day. It's amazing when God can use me to help steer a husband and wife in the better areas versus slamming against a brick wall, and it's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
Yes.
But again, that's giving out.
Right.
Right? So let's channel that in again. I'm going to ask you again. Let's just settle the parts a little bit and just begin to, because that is for many people, that's a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
And someone got on me the last session that we had with the last podcast,
Sure.
and they were like, why are you on women so hard? So the questions are hard to ask, to answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? Why is that? So we did a little parts work just on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And we
You are
found,
tough. You are tough woman.
I am tough.
You very
I'm
tough
just a
woman.
tough cookie.
They could do nothing wrong. The men do nothing wrong.
They can do nothing wrong. Yes, always, the women. So one of my brave peers walked up to me and said, I heard that, it is tough to answer these questions. And I'm like, why is that?
Mm.
Why is it tough for you to answer a question about yourself?
Sure.
And come to find out, it was the exact same thing that you just did.
Wow.
It's hard to turn around and look at the reflection within.
Look at yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in this moment, what is it that I could celebrate about you? What do
Comedy.
you want me to celebrate?
Comedy.
What about comedy?
How we started in 2019, and we're still doing it.
Good for you.
All over the guy.
So this is a new adventure you took on
Totally.
late in your age, like 2019?
Yeah, 2019, I was 50, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, 2019, I was past 50. Starting comedy in the 50s is old. But just felt that unctioning and your encouragement. And now we're up to doing comedy at least one time a week, so that's pretty good.
You know what? Let's give Dr. B a hand for
Oh,
that. I was
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
so you started a new hobby
Mhm.
late in age.
Hope it pays off too. Let me add that in there real quick. You know, we ain't do no charity work here. We done past that age. We ain't doing no charity. Hey, when it comes, no. But I enjoy it though.
That's great. That's great. You know what? So that's something we can all celebrate in Dr. B.
Mhm.
And as we're talking and speaking with him, I want you to bring that question to yourself
Right,
as
what you
well.
celebrating yourself. Yes.
What could we celebrate about you?
And some people have never done that because
Yes.
they had parents that never celebrated them. They had people around with them that never celebrated them. So they're not used to celebrating. They're not used to getting the applause. And then because they're used to just giving out and not receiving it. So yes.
So last night, we went to
Yeah.
an amazing event.
Kept me out late. She did. She kept me out late.
We went to the Southern Connecticut Black Chamber of Commerce.
Mhm.
Now, I didn't know one of these existed until maybe not even, probably a year ago. And
Okay.
I was like, oh, wow, I always know the Chamber of Commerce. I didn't know,
Yes.
there were divisions of
Yes.
the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
And so we attended this excellence
Yeah.
last night.
Oh,
And
it
it
was
was
excellent.
so amazing. Mind you, I had 2 other events to attend.
Yes.
And this was the one that I chose because it spoke out the most to me.
Mhm.
And there was excellence
All around the room.
all around
People dressed up.
the room.
Many hairdressers were happy about that event. They said, "It was done."
Everybody got their hair did.
got the
nails
hair done, the
face,
nails
feet.
done,
What?
face. They were set. They had even their shoes were brand new. When you go to a place where your shoes are brand new, you know that is a place to be. But it was great. The Housatonic president was there. Blumenthal was there. It was
Mayor Gannon was there.
Mayor Gannon was there. People were everywhere. All
People from
shades of
Stratford
color.
was there. The
I mean,
excellence
it
from Stratford was
It was
there.
nice. Yeah.
It was great. And so today I was like, you know what? Let's just carry this over into our weekend
Yes,
because
ma'am.
today is our official day off.
We don't do
guys.
any work today. No. The one time a month on
celebrating a day off.
Saturday, we don't do any counseling at all. We are just about us. We are celebrating us because I need to take time with my wife, Coach.
Did I tell you he was a little extra? You guys know that, right?
I am not extra. People do not believe my wife. I am not an extra person.
No, he's strong.
And when someone tells you you are extra, that means they're average.
So the coach is average this morning, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll deal with you later.
That's right. Deal with me, girl. Deal with me. Revive me. Resuscitate me.
This is how he acts when he's tired. So we were talking about excellence,
Yes,
guys. So celebrating that excellence. So what are a few ways that you could begin to celebrate yourself? So what is something else that we can celebrate in you, counselor?
Author of 26 nationally published books.
Wow. Could you give us a little backdrop of your story as a child? You don't have to open yourself up to all. So celebrating these 26 books for you.
So,
Yeah, could you give us a little backdrop?
so as a child, I was very troubled. I was a bedwetter. I was the only child for a while until my sister came along, and I was just a terror. And
But what about in education, how you were labeled? Did you
oh
talk
yeah,
about that?
I was so I was born in New York, and when my parents moved down to Georgia, they put me in the remedial class. And my late mother, she went down to the school system and said, "Listen, my son is not slow, and By the time we graduated, I was in the Excel class. So, I mean, God's done a great work in my life.
But what were you labeled as later in life when you come to find out you had?
Oh yeah, so I have a form of dyslexia, where I may say something, but what I write is totally different. That's why it's a miracle that I'm able to write books, because I will reread and I say, that's not what I said, and so my brain does a wish wash on me, and also there are times that I don't even remember words to write because my brain is just going so fast. So I had to learn to slow my brain down, but again, by God's grace, I've written 26 books on relationship, theology, and my favorite subject, intimacy.
So you know what? Let's celebrate Dr. B in that. Coming from dyslexia
Still got it too.
to, yes, dyslexia. Yeah, because when you're reading something, I'm like, babe, that's not what that said.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, maybe he can't see.
That's
but,
why
But you know what? Then it's like a take back. It's like, oh, this is his dyslexia.
That's why. Because she's a great editor.
And it's hard to edit books. Anybody that edits out there,
It's very
that is a
difficult.
tough job. I understand why they're paid so much. So let's celebrate the editors in this room, like
Yeah, it is.
all across the world.
Every-
Let's just celebrate people.
Again, the subject matter of celebrating excellence is also celebrating your writing skills. I believe every person has a book in them. I think every person has a book in
I
them.
believe that as well.
Every person, because it's learning to. I mean, my daughter says to me every now and then, "Dad, why don't you write a book about yourself?" I said,
Again, but see how that's hard to go
Yeah.
inward
"Yeah."
to like even talk about yourself?
It
What
is.
is that?
Again, it's because learning. I was beaten so many times as a child. I still have PTSD. When I see a belt, I started to cringe. Even now, putting the belt on the cell, I just started to cringe. Oh! You know, I remember being in the room waiting for my father. Wait till your father come home. I think my mother created that statement because I had to go to the bathroom. I had to whatever. Sometimes I played sleep. You know how that works, right? You play sleep. My father did not care. He whipped me. So I have PTSD from that. But again, the book writing helps me to release that. So the excellence is really saying that in spite of your worm-like beginning, you can become a caterpillar.
And you can overcome
You can overcome it.
anything that someone else is putting on you.
Yes.
You can overcome that. So
Yes.
for you to have written those books and have gone national, like on television,
Yes.
being national,
Yeah.
as a speaker, you're a teacher, that is really something to celebrate about you.
Well, also my wife calls me cute too.
He's so cute.
I had to get used to that.
He's so cute. Cute.
Black men are not cute.
So again, we have a few moments to just wrap this part up.
Yes.
But again, guys, let's go inward. What is it that we can celebrate
About you.
you? Not what you do for other people,
Right.
not how you do for other people.
What's your
What
talents?
is it? Yeah. What do you want to celebrate about yourself?
Right.
Perhaps you picked up a little hobby or just something. You know what? I celebrate that I can sit in silence
Yes.
for 2 minutes.
Yes. With myself.
Right, with yourself.
With
Because some
myself.
people can't do it.
Right.
Some people can't do
I
it.
don't know how to do that. I don't know how to sit, but because you haven't learned to celebrate you. I mean, if anything, this podcast has all been about us working on us. You know, how do I take out the cobwebs and how do I make sure things are going right? So how about this time today? Here's your homework. Here's your homework assignment, children. The homework assignment, children, is that you will learn to celebrate you.
Yes. And in the best of ways.
Yes.
We'll be back in just a moment.
You know, I just observed that even who are dyslexic, they have other talents,
Yes.
Wow.
other gifts,
They do.
because I think it makes up for something else.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Yeah. He's very special. He has, I don't know, I think I would call, I don't know what I would call him.
She called me special needs one time.
I did not. I did not. I did not. It's so bad.
Website.
So I'll say. welcome back to the second half of The Coach.
And we come to
And we are celebrating excellence.
Yes.
Speaking of excellence.
Yes, we have a website, unburdening.net, unburdening.net. And you can go there, see our past podcasts, see pictures. Also, you can sign up to see either the coach or the counselor for counseling. We have a great, powerful therapy where the coach and the counselor, male and female perspective, will work on your relationships, and we have seen dramatic results. Also, on the website, you'll see our book. We worked together about being released from a prison mentality. You got to get the book, people. It will bless you. It will
Bid
take you.
farewell to prison experience.
Bid farewell to prison
I did some
experience.
coaching work in that.
Yes.
That book was produced in 2020. Was it the year that we married? No.
2019, I believe. Yeah, because I do a book every year. I produce a book every year. So, but go to unburdening.net. You got to go there. Also, if you want to support, you can also do that to our website. Okay.
Celebrating excellence
Yes.
once again. So that was your 25th book? Or the 26th?
No, the 26th book was No Guile. That was number
So the
25.
25th, wow.
No, 24.
24.
24 was a bidding farewell. 25 was Marathon Intimacy.
Okay.
And then 26 was No Guile.
I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of you for several things. Again, starting a very late hobby as a comedian. You guys,
On stage.
he went from Fairfield County
Yes.
straight to Mohegan.
You were
The
there.
casinos.
You were there.
Like, he does comedy at the casinos. Like, who does that?
Oh, we getting ready for big time Law Citizen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's just so much fun. It's so much fun.
It
We
is.
travel a lot. You're in Comedy Strip in New York.
Yes.
You're at several places in New York.
Yes. Yes, we do comedy in Connecticut, and of course New York. New York is the mecca of stand-up comedy. So
Of course.
you have to go.
Well, you've stood on the same stage as Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Those little places
Yes.
that, these tiny, intimate comedy houses. And it's
And
just,
I do. And I
it's so
do.
great to go there and just see all the people that have been there.
And I do clean, mature comedy.
You do.
And clean comedy is harder to do because I'm not dropping F's and all the type of curse words. So I'm just doing it directly clean. I talk about sex. You best believe. You best believe talk about sex.
One of his
But-
favorite topics in the whole world.
My wife bless me real good. Yes, sir. So I talk about it, but I do it clean. Because again, in celebrating you celebrate what you are comfortable in. I can't go up, I can't be a pastor on Sunday and then turn around and curse like a sailor. Matter of fact, I was at Stress Factory on last Wednesday, so I did my comedy. And then in the end, I said, I'm a pastor. People just started to bust out laughing because I just talked about sex prior to saying that. They're like, okay. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
So what can we celebrate in you, madam?
Oh my God, there's so much. I'd like to talk about me and my parts.
Well, let's talk about you and all your parts that I see every day.
What, you want to reveal some secrets?
We'll celebrate you, madam.
So I like to celebrate the nurturing part of me.
Very nurturing.
Because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to do half the work that I do in this world. I also like to celebrate the fact that I love celebrating so much excellence around me. So sometimes when people come to me and they're burdened or they're in sadness, I always see excellence in them. So I thank the heavens for the gift to be able to see that in other people. And that's celebrating myself and what's in me through them.
Right.
So I also love the fact that I celebrate in sips.
Oh boy.
And some people say, oh, you're always sipping. Every time I see you, you're sipping something. It's like it's 3 a.m. It's 12 a.m. or whatever. 12, whatever. And I'm like, I'm celebrating me, the fact that I don't drink sodas all day. Like, you have diabetes because you drink soda, and I'm slowly sipping on my rum. I'm celebrating me and the way I do things. I'm celebrating the fact that I am a third child.
Yes,
I'm
you
a
are.
rebel. Nobody's gonna tell me what to do. Like, I celebrate that in me because it's the rebels of the world that change the world,
Mhm.
right? It is the rebels of the world that change the world. If I'm doing what everyone else is doing, then as, you know, as the counselor, as my hubby says, you might be working on an average level. In my world, we call it, you know, on the streets of Bridgeport, we say, baby, you just basic. Like, stop up. Yeah, you basic. Like,
You call somebody basic.
that's the word I'm
You just crush somebody. You just
Like, you're basic if you're doing what other people are doing. So celebrate the fact that, I do celebrate the fact that I'm different. I do celebrate the fact that I'm a brown albino, as some people call me. Like, my hair is brown, my eyes are brown, my skin is brown.
No,
Like,
your
I
eyes.
celebrate that. Like, I celebrate being different.
Wait. Your eyes are not brown. Your eyes are hazel. That's one of the attractive
Well,
points
thank you,
about you.
sir.
I
Well, thank you.
love your hazel
Well,
eyes
thank you.
and glistening in the night.
Okay, relax. So I celebrate the fact that I celebrate the fact that I am a different individual. I'm
You
a
are.
bold individual. I'm going to be the first one. The lady said at the event last night, "Oh, you're the first customer at the bar." Of course, I'm the first customer at the
Oh,
bar.
yeah.
I'm going to
You
be the
won't
first one to be at the bar, the first one to be on the dance floor,
Yeah.
the first
But
one
she
to
can dance
say
too.
yes, the first one to say no, the first one to say get out of my face. Like, it's just,
And the first one to
You
say to
have to-
me,
you
I
have
did.
to be.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to be, you just have to be you. So yes, I celebrate my differences. I take great pride in that. I celebrate all third children of the world because we become the difficult ones, right? I always say, I think Jesus was like a third child because
He
he
was.
did, how do you know? You don't know that.
Yeah, he was.
Jesus was a third child. Okay, let's put that out there in the atmosphere. And he was born in springtime. Because this is the best time of year.
He was born in autumn, but he was not third.
He was born in autumn?
Yes.
No, I think he
I'm
was
sorry,
born in March.
August. No. You were born in March.
I think all great people are born in March and they're Aries.
I was born in May.
You're a Gemini.
I know John.
I mean, you're a Taurus.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
you're
it.
the Taurus. You're the neck of the entire.
Don't go
Yeah,
there. Anyway,
yeah.
go ahead.
He doesn't like it when I do the
Nah.
horoscope. So
No.
those, some of us that are into it, I'm not into it like that, but
I'm into you. All of you. Every point of you. It's
you know what? So now that we're talking about celebrating excellence
Yes.
in ourselves,
Mhm.
again, bringing that to yourself.
to yourself.
Like, what could you celebrate in you first?
Right.
And then, when you can celebrate yourself, you know, people, I've had it all my life. Oh, you're so arrogant. You walk around with your head up. Da, da, da. Like, no, I had a long neck and I was skinny. Like, it always looks like my head is up. Like, you walk around with your nose in the air. Like, but you know what? I celebrate me so much that I can celebrate other people
Right.
flawlessly.
Right.
So that's the blessing in that.
And also, you really can't celebrate somebody if you don't celebrate yourself. I
Right.
mean, there's no way. And parents, please hear loud and clear.
Yes, I was gonna
don't.
say that,
I don't care
parents.
how much you tell your kids how great and how good they are. If they see you downgrading yourself, if they
Yes.
see you,
Everything stems from home.
I told somebody recently in a session. I said, if you are depressed, why are you surprised your child is not going to be
Mhm.
depressed?
Why is your child talking down? Well,
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
probably see you
Exactly.
doing the same thing,
Exactly.
even though you think they're not watching.
They again, kids not only look like you, they act like you. And so if you are in a self-suppressive place and you're beating yourself up and saying stupid things out loud about, so Coach and I, we have this thing that if we say something derogatory about ourselves, we easily say, no, do not say that, because we're trying to encourage each other.
And we have a do-over.
That's right,
So you
exactly,
can always
yes.
get a do-over, like, babe, how could you correct that?
That's correct.
Wait a
That's
minute,
correct.
what are you saying?
Because death and life is in the power of your tongue.
Mhm. Let's redo that. Say it again. Like, just pause
Correct.
and say, you know what? No, I'm going to say it this way.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that your parts identify with that.
Right, because again, if you're not feeding your parts or you're not feeding your spirit, that's why it's so important. Okay, I'm awake now. It's so important.
It's so, that took me a while. It is so important that if I'm not feeding my spirit correctly, then my actions and my flesh are going to show that. So again, it's celebrating because I'm made in the image of God. So since I'm made as an image, God is excellent. Since I'm made in His image, then I'm excellent as well. But I have to understand that and say that to me on a regular basis. Because if I don't, then I will have a trophy or a decline of not lifting myself up.
So those that are celebrating themselves, but you're like, but there's a part of me that
Sure.
feels dark, that feels lonely,
Sure.
that feels upset.
Sure,
These are just parts that need your attention.
that's it.
If I could get the entire world to understand these amazing parts that we have in us, you guys, these parts only want to teach us how to celebrate
That's it.
the parts in us.
That's it.
That's my job in this world. I'm here to help you unburden. And if I could get especially parents, if I could get parents to
Yes.
understand, just as the individual,
Sure.
that all of the trials, the challenges, the tribulations that we go through, they are here for you to have wisdom. When you feel, I hear so many women tell their sons, you gotta feel the emotion inside of you. Like,
You gotta feel it.
it's done a little differently. I'd rather you understand the part
Yeah.
that's speaking to you, because parts have a language that they speak.
Go ahead.
And if it comes up in, sadness or depression or upset, it's just telling you, listen, I need you to look at this part of me. I need you to look at this side of me so that I understand what's being said.
Right.
There's wisdom in these burdened parts. We have to tap into them to get that wisdom.
And when you don't celebrate yourself, you're not celebrating life, which means that you're not going to want to be alive soon. So that's why you have to do the celebration on a consistent basis.
So again, I'm going to ask you, just like I asked in the beginning, what are some ways that we can celebrate you in this moment? What are you celebrating in yourself first?
Celebrating the tenacity to not give up in life. When I got divorced, celebrating that 25 years in pastoring, celebrating that I wanted a relationship with my kids, and I didn't give up when I was a terrible parent, and I didn't let that stigma stay on me,
Yes.
and I worked on it. And now, even late last night, my two kids, one was missing. He was probably making money.
That would be my son.
Yeah, that's right. But they wanted to hang around their dad and their mom, and that was very powerful.
So you guys, do you begin to see the shift
Sure.
of,
Yeah.
when I first asked you that,
I couldn't do it.
it was a tough
I couldn't
question.
do it. Well, I was really sweet. That's why. I'm sweet. But
But it was a tough question.
right. But again, once you start to see what you have done, then it becomes easier. I think for
Yeah,
me,
now you were spitting it out.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah,
this, and I can
yeah,
celebrate this, and I can
yeah.
celebrate this.
for me, the reason why I don't do it as much, because again, there's so much to be done. There's so many souls to be reached, and at 57, I just want to make sure my life was okay. When Brantley dies, no time soon, Lord, in Jesus' name, amen.
I need a lot of that.
Yeah, she told me when she married me, y'all. You know what? Hang on.
You
So
got
this
a
woman,
20-year bid, guys.
I got
At
a 20 year.
least a 20-year bid.
I got a 20-year deal with this woman, all right? So she told me, I'll say yes to marry you, but you give me 20 years.
At least.
At least. But it's a beautiful 20 years. But anyway, it's celebrating, because once you start to see, wow, look what God has done, it gives you an accomplishment. The key is that, I'm this person that goes to the next ring. So that's why, yes, oh, glory to God for me to do what we're doing. Even with the food pantry. I mean, we had a food pantry at the church.
Yes.
And so we have over 1,900 pounds of food. Right? Nobody was there but me and God. Nobody was there. And so I worked out that morning, Thursday morning, excuse me, had a meeting, excuse me, for the chaplainship. And then I came to church just in time, and the food shed truck was there, and everybody was there. So listen, what you gonna do? So again, I celebrate the tenacity, not to criticize. Okay? If a job needs to be done, a job needs to be done. And I'm just saying, God, sit on the help, all right? Because I need him back, because I is married, so I need him back. You know, I need him back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I need him back. Stop it.
Yes, so that, celebrating that excellence in you, but you guys, do you see the shift? So now from the beginning of the conversation to this end, you should be able to have something that you could celebrate about yourself.
Yes.
You alone, not something that you're doing for other people, but
Correct.
something that you could celebrate in yourself.
Yes.
Again, when we cannot celebrate ourselves, it's hard for us to celebrate others.
Right.
So in the SCBCC, Southern Connecticut Black Chamber of Commerce, there was so much excellence in that room. There was so much celebrating in that room, and we're able to uplift one another in that. Everyone had to be celebrating their own accomplishments
Sure.
simultaneously
Right.
for us to give that much
Right.
essence to the few people that were
Right. Being awarded.
were being
Yeah.
awarded.
The thing about it, last,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, so last year or 2 years ago, all right, we couldn't do that because of COVID. We could not have any celebrations out loud. But one thing, when we got married in 2020,
The
Lori's
height of.
Gloria's year, we got married during COVID. Okay, that showed you our tenacity, because ain't nothing was going to stop us from getting married.
Yeah,
Because
well,
I need this woman.
the greatness of that was that the governor's, I think, granddaughter was getting
I
married.
don't care
So the world
what was going
open for
on.
us.
The bottom line is, we did, because again, it's learning how to celebrate. Because people hear me, if you're not celebrating you, you are letting the drugs of life destroy you. And when you do that, so that's why it's time to breathe.
So the breathing part will be a part of your homework because we have just seconds left. The breathing part is just to simply go within. Have your parts settle. Just ask them to soften back. Your parts understand that. And the part that needs celebration and the part that is willing to celebrate you as the authority of all the parts, just ask that part to stand up. What is it you want to celebrate in this moment about, and say your name? And you'll be surprised how that part speaks to you. And always, you want to receive the wisdom's part. So as you breathe and as we begin to exhale, just begin to ask your parts to soften back. And the one that wants to celebrate, my parts are just like, ooh, let's celebrate.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate because there's so many amazing things to celebrate within this year. So
Yes.
with that, celebrate yourselves even during this holiday season, and whatever it is you are celebrating, celebrate you first, then so many others. Just a side note, as a joke, my sister, who loves Christmas, she says, if I'm getting you that, I get 2 for me. So 1 for you and
That's
2
good.
for me. So
That's
celebrate
good. That's
yourself
good.
twice
That's good.
before you
That's good
celebrate
proportion.
someone else.
That's good
All right?
proportion.
So with that, one love.
Peace. We went over, people. I apologize, we went over.
No, that's all you gotta wait and see, okay.
So thank you guys for joining. I think next week are we doing a double
Yeah.
next week?
Yeah, you wanted to double because.
Yeah, so the gives you a break, yeah.
Yeah,
So we're gonna be doing a double next
so
week.
after you come, you have to.
Do you want us to come earlier or later?
No, it's up to you really, because after you finish the first program,
Yeah.
no, you can probably just go into recording.
Okay.
the second program.
So we'll be here
It's easy.
double the time
We'll wear
next week,
different
guys.
clothes, for the second one too.
Yeah.
We're different clothes.
We look like
Maybe
a
wanna
different
say bye?
My people celebrate, and when you celebrate you, you have a much better day about you. All right, boo. Okay.
All right, guys, so remember
All right,
to
people.
celebrate yourself.
Be blessed. Take care. That's my beautiful wife right there. They should fine.
So celebrate yourself. Remember to love on you first and